Welcome back to Dos and Toss, Season 6, Episode 26. 26 is a big number. Every week, live, it is the Dos and Toss crew recapping the round that was. And the round that was round 24, which means we are in to round 25, as Ed Richards would say. But it is the wildcard round and a big game coming up, Melbourne, Carlton. So we got none other than Carlton. What would you call it?
Friend of the
podcast, winner of the tipping competition, Adam Schuster. Adam, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back. It's been only a few weeks, I think, but yeah, it's a good week to come on, I think. Very fitting.
Yes. Well, we're really just recycling guests now that Brody's gone, but it's an important role, that third spot. Dean, you're back into the middle. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I don't know. I just ended up in the middle here. I don't mind it, though, with Carlton, Melbourne. Bit of back and forth between you two where I get to sit back and relax. I think with Brody, it's handy when I'm on the end because then I can talk to him and Chase at the same time. But
yeah.
We'll see how we go. I don't mind it. You know, I'm in the grey trackies covered by the laptop, which is good. Sometimes it shows a bit too much. So we'll see how we go.
Now, round 24 means AFL Fantasy Grand Finals. Dean, can you just take us through the emotions of last night and the result?
Yeah, where do I begin? So I'll start with Saturday night. I'm ahead by 112. Harry and I each have 5 to play on the Sunday, and of course he was out. So I was pretty I said to myself, you win 75% of those games. 3 out of 4 times, if you're ahead by 100 and you each have 5, you'll likely win. And then Jace Burgoyne tries his heart out, but Setterfield and Merritt get over me in that game. And then it comes down to the last game. I'm down by 49. I've got Marcus Herbert and Josh Battle against Connor McDonald. Now, Herbert gets the plus 20 in our comp. He's been in ripping form, killing it on the half-back line. The biceps are just booming, and he looks great. Unbelievable. Gets the 1-2s. He'd likely be playing himself as well. And then I'm down by 22 at halftime. Herbert's going well. Battle can't get near it in the wet. Fine. And then Herbert gets moved to full forward and starts dropping marks like you've never seen before. Can't get near it. I'm stranded. I'm down by 12 in three-quarter time. And I end up losing by 27 because Connor McDonald kept going riot. And I choked just as you would have, Chase, if you've ever made a grand final. But I just didn't know what to do. Like, I've never been in that situation before. I'm not a choker. You know, previously in grand finals, I was 6-1, and now I'm 6-2.
Chase, I think you should read out the message. Give the people some
There's
context.
a few messages.
The pinned one.
So,
look, I was happy for Harry, to be fair. He's had a tough week with the cheekbone and now the All-Australian fallout. So
yeah, here he is. He's got his little bobblehead in the studio as well.
So if he's listening, whether he's recovering or about to go into surgery, at least I cheered him up a little.
And the cheeky little Jai Simkin rev up you mentioned.
Yeah.
Could have got him over the line.
Apparently Harry gave Jai Simpkin some sort of rev up who ended up with 126 fantasy points.
There you go. A bit of match fixing, if you will. So a bit of context throughout the season. Obviously, I was barracking for Harry because I didn't want Dean to win. There's been a few contentious decisions that Dean, as the commissioner, has made, cheating me out of a win. And I also lost 2 very close games to Adam, one by 4 points, one by 1 in games that were unlosable at some stages of the matchup. But Dean, I don't really feel bad for you.
I know you don't.
And I left Dean on a few quotes that I just found from the Torah as I was scrolling through them. There's a lot of stickers here that I got to scroll past to find them. But I said to Dean on the 7th of May when he cheated me out of a win, be sure your sin will find you out. And also, that was the Remy, actually. Woe to those who close their eyes to wrongdoing, for the cry of the oppressed shall one day rise against them.
What are the quotes? Do we have them? Deuteronomy
24:8. And then as Dean finally lost to Harry, it was it was big for us, for the other 7 in the league.
The other 7.
Because Dean obviously is a dictator. We call him Dictator Dean. And what did I say?
Pinned, I think.
It's pinned. The 7 stand, spearheaded by Harry, Jared jubilates, Adam is avenged, Chase claims justice, Kai cackles, while Remy revels and Brody basks as Dean's dictatorship disintegrates. Dean, how does that make you feel?
It's a tough pill to swallow when everyone preys on your downfall.
Yes.
I think I have the best reason to out of everyone. The years of trauma. As you said in the quote, Adam is avenged. I didn't even beat him, but I was so happy last night.
Yeah.
If the people need context, Dean's beat me in 4 out of 4 grannies that we versed each other in. So, yeah.
Yeah, happy to move on as we do.
Yeah, this is just last one from the Young Guns Fantasy 6-4. Woe to those who turn a blind eye to injustice, for the wrong shall rise and the tyrant shall fall. And that is what happened.
Yeah, we have a lot of victims in the league. That's what it sounds like.
Let's get...
He'll be back. I'm scared for next year, I think.
Yeah, I'm not.
Angry Dean.
Angry. Definitely angry.
Okay, sure. I think you're washed. Shit day to be. Last week I said shit day to be Hawthorn, and I can really only say it's a shit day to be the D's. So let's just go through each matchup from this round. And, I don't know how all you went in your tipping, but... So round 24. St Kilda Gold Coast. Melbourne want St Kilda to win so that Gold Coast pick doesn't go to pick 6 because it was at pick 5. Gold Coast win. They jump a spot in the ladder. Melbourne's pick goes up to pick 6. Collingwood Brisbane. Unlikely, but we want Collingwood to win to give Melbourne a chance at top 4. Brisbane win. Carlton Freo. We want Freo to win so that the Dogs have no incentive to beat us because they wouldn't move in the ladder. But no. Carlton win, and Dogs have an incentive to beat us because they now are not playing Adelaide, they're playing Collingwood. And then, of course, we choke against the Dogs. And then, all right, there's 2 games. Can we get a bit of a miracle to keep our top 6? Geelong, Richmond. Can Richmond pull off a miracle? No. Adelaide, Giants. Probably our best chance. Can GWS win and Adelaide won't jump us? No. Adelaide win. Essendon Port, who cares? North Sydney. We want North to win because we want them to jump Gold Coast so that our pick goes from 6 back to 5. North don't win. And then Hawthorn West Coast didn't really matter in the end. So the shit that to be the D's. Jake Lever looks like he could be done for the season with a damage to his big toe. We've already got Jacob Van Rooyen, who is suspended for the next 2 weeks. My check's out for the season. We don't really have any key players. Harrison Petty is in career best form, but he's running out of friends. Daniel Turner looks sore. Jefferson also got hurt. So we finish on 15 wins, yet we are 7th and play a red-hot or a white-hot Carlton, you could say. And Carlton, would you say you guys are favourites? Because I'd probably say you guys are favourites now.
I think we are on the odds, but I don't think you can underestimate Melbourne's game style this year. You guys are probably going to score 100 points. We've been scoring a lot. Are we going to do a review of the game now?
A preview? Yeah, we can just talk about it, yeah.
So I think it'll be a pretty attacking game, which is different to Carlton Melbourne games of the past. So they're usually 60s, 70s, close games. But I think it'll be close regardless. Yeah. And I don't think it's a clear favourite either way. So, yeah, I think we'll go in favourites on Sportsbet, but I don't see it that way. I see it as a pretty even matchup.
Yeah, and look, the wildcard sucks for Melbourne, and I'm a Melbourne supporter, and we could finish this season in essentially 9th spot, not even make the finals after winning 15 games. But I'm not going to let that take away from the fact that I still think wildcard is good for the game, because I think it rewards the top 6. It actually rewards Adelaide and Geelong. Whilst Melbourne was so close to finishing top 6, we didn't. We finished 7th, so we weren't better than those top 6 teams. And unfortunately, we've been stitched up, but I still like what it's done for the game. And if it was a normal top 8 system, we'd be playing Adelaide in Adelaide. Good chance we just get chewed up and spat out. But now we have a game at the MCG against Carlton in a game of consequence, whether you want to call it a final or not. It's a big game. It's a massive game for the club. And I don't know how the revenue works because it is our home ground. I think the AFL might take the revenue in finals. But regardless, I think it's a big event for the Melbourne Football Club in a year that was looking like before the season we're going to finish in the bottom half of the ladder.
Your first final appearance since 2018?
No, since 2023.
No, not
First-
Melbourne. As in,
Me?
you're attending your first game.
No, I went to 22 and 23. I went to all 4 of the straight sets.
Oh, you haven't seen a finals win since
Yeah.
2018?
Yeah, I've seen
Okay,
a
I got it
final win.
out. Sorry. That's what I meant. You haven't seen a finals win since 2018. That's a long time.
Yeah, I was going to say neither of you, but you did last year and the year before. It is a long time, but I don't know. Do you count like this week as a final? I feel like if Melbourne win this game, even though it is a wild card, in my head, I will be satisfied that we won a finals-like game.
I agree.
I agree, and I stand by my point all season that this should count as a wild card game, not a final, not a wild card final. But it's a good call. I think it probably alleviates some of that pressure. Like if the Dogs get up but then lose in the first round, Beveridge has much less pressure than he would have if they didn't make the top 8. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it'd be a shame if Carlton didn't make finals this season, and like that means a lot coming from me.
What do you mean it'd be a shame?
Like the red hot form not eventuating into anything. I think you want to see that team who's in red hot form, new coach. Like, let's see what they can do when the pressure's actually on. So that in a way is cool, but very, very stiff for the D's to be in this situation. I think almost last week you guys almost looked like a contender.
We were pretty much last week, or before Van Rooyen got suspended, we were almost 4th seed under Freo, Sydney and Brisbane, and now we're 7th and could miss the top 8, which is crazy.
Yeah, but I think, like, if you actually look at the ladder, there was a clear top 10. Maybe it's because of how things panned out at the end. Like, St Kilda weren't really playing for much at the end of it, this week against Gold Coast. But the top 10 teams are clearly, I think, a level above the rest. Within that, there's separate tiers, obviously. But I think, like, with the big game thing, like, you're going to get 90,000 at the G for both of them. It's pretty much a final. So even if, Melbourne or Carlton, one of them lose, that's huge experience for both of these teams.
Yeah, I'm calling it a final.
I think
there
so
it is.
too.
I reckon it's a final because, I just think it's unfair. Like it's a tough ask for Melbourne. Like it's going to be 90,000 there, as you said, Adam, which is a finals-like atmosphere, and it's a game of consequence. It's a knockout game. You win, you're through. You lose, you're out. And you're right. There is a top 10, and I think looking at the top 10. Melbourne's the only side that are like, damn, you know what I mean, in terms of the result. Carlton and Collingwood, I think they're content that they made the wild card, same as the Bulldogs. They were kind of crawling to the end. Adelaide and Geelong, 5th and 6th, I think that's fair. And then the top 4, I think, is pretty fair as well. So everyone is satisfied except for Melbourne. And I'm not going to base my opinion of the wild card on that just because I'm a D's supporter. So I still think it will be a success when we look back on it.
Speaking of the wild card and finals, the Doggies obviously have to go to the MCG to play their home final. Did you see you alluded to it earlier, what Ed Richards had to say about that?
They'd prefer to play the MCG? Or?
Well, yeah, and calling it round 25 and whatnot.
And what Andrew Dillon said in response. Did you see
Yeah.
that? Very interesting. Pretty much had a go at the Bulldogs,
Yeah.
saying they would never get that crowd anyways.
They just don't play there, so... I mean, not many sides play at the MCG.
Do you think it's fair?
I like Ed Richards. He always plays devil's advocate. So,
It's like you.
Yeah. I feel like we're pretty similar. But I don't know.
Lefties.
I don't know, but surely the opportunity to play at a packed MCG supersedes a home Marvel game.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to play it.
No, but there's always uproar this time of year about Bulldogs having to play at the G
Geelong.
and not Marvel, and Geelong not playing in Geelong. I think like if you ask like North players, would you rather play a home final at Marvel or the G? They would take the G.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think there's actually an agreement in place.
There is.
The MCG just hosts finals, and this is considered a final, so that's how it works.
Yeah.
But they're going to get 90,000 at the Bulldogs game, so how can you put that at Marvel and half the crowd misses out?
Exactly, and a lot of their members would miss out as well.
Yeah.
So obviously they wanted to be at the G. Some other big. Actually, I'll go to your shit there, bees. You don't want to be dismissive.
Yeah, sure. It's a shit day to be the other brilliant journalists because I think Cal Toomey has taken the throne. He broke the news with Mark McVeigh yesterday, and I think he just flies under the radar with news-breaking journos. Everyone sees him as the draft guru, but last year, the story of the year was Naz. Where's he going to go? No one knows. Who broke it? Cal Toomey. He said he was re-signing. And I think Zach Butters should be on watch because I'd have Cal as a smoky to break the news. When everyone thinks of your Mitch Clearys, your Tom Morris, Jay Clark, I just think Cal's very underrated. Never makes it about himself. And, yeah, we love Cal.
We love Cal. He is very good. I don't know how all the journalists, work to, break a story. I know they all have their sources, but... So, Cal breaks the news about the Essendon coach. Someone from Essendon is leaking that story to him because he's not there. He's not in the Essendon board. So someone is leaking it. So all these journalists, isn't it just a fight to get the inside source, pretty much? So you just have to be the nicest guy and most, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you've studied journalism. I don't know. I know. It's about trust and which sources will give you what information and. Yeah, I don't know. There's an art to it, clearly.
Because I had sometimes message Cal to ask about something. I got news that Tom Sparrow was signing, so I told him, and he went and chased it up for me. So he's very good, but who does he go to? Does he go to the media? I know you don't know, but it's funny how they all have their sources. Mark McVeigh, Sydney assistant. Don't know much about him other than his name has been in the media for a while and he's been touted as the next senior coach. So is that a good move for Essendon and what are the ramifications for Carlton?
I reckon they've done the right thing. I think James Hird was there at a time where it was just turmoil for the club, and they've been junk since. Let's be honest, they need a new coach, and I think Melbourne and Carlton have done the right things, going for young, untried coaches. It also can backfire, but I think they've taken a bit of a note out of that book and they'll give it a go. And I think where they're coming from, they've won 2 games. There's no pressure on him next year or the year after, I think. Losing Merritt too, they're going to be a young list.
There is no pressure, but I think he's in a better spot than Brad Scott. Brad Scott was essentially the rebuild coach. And yes, Essendon are coming from Wooden Spoon, but I think they actually had a good last couple of drafts, Caddy Kako and then Farrow, Sharp and Roby. That's I think that those 5 are going to be really good. You've got Archie Roberts they took in the 50s as well. So there actually is a lot of young talent coming through. But it's how do they recruit on top of that? They're going to lose Merritt. They're going to lose Ridley most likely.
No loss. He doesn't play.
Yeah, true. He doesn't play. But I think he does have some tools to work with. They just need to be competitive, Essendon. They're so non-competitive each week. They had a good game against Port to an extent. But, yeah, you look at some of the other teams, even Port Adelaide, they're usually in most games. Yeah. Until the last couple of weeks, they're usually in most games each week, and they've got absolutely nobody's playing for them. Mitch Zatto and Xavier Bammett and Harrison
4
Ram
players selected in the
Virgil Van
Dijk.
Was that the Ruckman?
Van Dijk, whatever his name is.
It was the Vicentini Cup. Essendon, we call it. The brothers.
Dante didn't ruck.
Yeah, true.
He was at full forward.
They were playing on each other for a little bit. It was good to see. Thought of Remy.
Just on Essendon, though, I, for one, never understood the whole Herd as head coach, and I spoke to a few Essendon fans who weren't in that brigade either. I know it's a small sample size, and apparently a lot of the fans wanted him back. But I just thought the way Essendon handled it was really poor. And you spoke about Carlton and Melbourne. I know Melbourne, they're going through a bit of a lawsuit action against their former president, but both of them seem like they have strong boards. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of pressure on Andrew Welsh. I don't think he's had a great start. The way he kept Merritt when Brad Scott didn't want him to. The way he has these close connections with people. And I just think they needed to shut the herd thing straight away or make him coach. I think the longer it went on, it just seemed really unprofessional and it was more romantic than strategic.
Yeah.
Adam, any SDTBs? Shit
Yes, I have thought of one. I think it is a shit day to be GWS. And in the sense, I think they actually might be heading for a bit of a rebuild at a very bad time to be rebuilding with Tassie coming in. They're going to lose Stringer, who was their best player on the weekend. Hogan's gone. Toby Green might be going. Lockie Ash might be going. That's like 4 of their top 10
I've
players.
heard Kieran Briggs as well.
Yeah, to Richmond.
Yeah, so that's some big outs. And they're going to have to go to the draft this year. Next year, and then the years after that, it's all compromised. They really had a chance to win a flag with that list they had. They never did it. This could set them back quite a long time.
So I do agree with you. I think they'll be towards the bottom of the ladder next year.
Yeah.
But I think they've been doing a little slow rebuild as well.
They have
with their
but
academy players.
It's hard to see outside of Callahan and Cadman, like genuine superstars coming through.
Tom Green.
Tom Green.
Yeah, true. Forget about him.
Sam Taylor, I think, is the best key back in the game, if fit.
Harris Andrews.
Yeah, I really rate Taylor. I think he's pretty handy.
But I think then with those players, they could just float in mediocrity, which is almost worse.
Yeah, it's not enough. You look at their outs. Darcy Jones, he's a really good player.
Yeah.
Brent Daniels. Harvey Thomas, I think, has had a super underrated year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Grozowski, he looks good, but I agree with you. I think it's definitely the first time they will be quote-unquote rebuilding, and it's not a good time with Tassie coming in.
It's an awkward position they're in. Like, I'd almost prefer to be in Gold Coast position. I think maybe they can just leapfrog after this year, like just put it down as a bad year. But I think GWS might have to go through a bit of a rebuild.
Yeah, I'm just like going through their list. I think there's a lot of players that they will start to unearth over the next couple of years, and they have a knack of just bringing guys in, and they just like whoever they draft, they're just like at least okay. Like even someone like Darcy Jones was a late-ish, I think it was a second-round pick, but like Oscar Taylor, Cody Ango, Jack Owl, Harry Ralston. These type of players, Harrison Oliver, Phoenix Gothard, like they all just seem to be all right. And then you got a midfield of Tom Green, Clayton Oliver, and Finn Callahan next year. Not sure who their ruck will be because I don't think Nick Madden's that good, but that's a pretty good starting 3 midfield with Brent Daniels if he can play as your 4th. So yeah, I don't think they'll be good next year, GWS, but I do think they will be okay in 2-3 years time. Let's see what happens. I mean,
I think this draft is so important. Like teams are going to have to nail their top picks before Tassie come in, and it's a bad time to be, flirting with a rebuild.
Yep. Nah, I guess I concur. Yeah.
Speaking of Nick Madden, I had in my notes it's a shit day to be Nick Madden. Kicked his first goal. So he kicked his first AFL goal at the very end of the game and didn't even smile. And it's one of those moments. We had it this year, like in Ajax when we were getting thumped, and like someone kicks their first goal. Everyone's got to get around them, but there's no aura about it at all. You've kind of got to downplay it. But like, imagine you kicking your first goal in the AFL. Like, it's a pretty big deal. Yeah. Or even your first goal at local footy. It's a great honour. But no one can get around you, and you got to kind of like, whatever. So
it's interesting.
It's just one of those things in footy, yeah.
That's interesting because you could compare that with Freo. I forgot his name, but he kicked his first goal like with 10 seconds to go when they were down by 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
And Paddy Voss was like going crazy, and he was like trying to get everyone to get around him. But that's like a good thing. Like you want that kind of culture at your club.
You do. It's just a shame. Like you'd love to kick your first in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like Max Beattie had a good goal for Hawthorn against Collingwood. But yeah, that's footy.
Zach Butters announced his decision to leave the club. In other news, there's water in the sea. Where's he going to go? Is he going to end up at Geelong? They're just going to give him a farm and that'll be it?
Oh, I hope not.
I think it'll be Geelong because I don't think the other options are realistic for him. Like Richmond can get the deal done, but I don't see why he would pick them.
So it sounds like it was Bulldogs all season, even last season, and then where have Geelong come from? They've just done it again.
It's just Geelong. Like, they're probably really attractive, but I don't. Like, how are they offering him close to the money that the Dogs or Richmond would be offering him when they've got Bailey Smith and Jeremy Cameron and Max Holmes, and they just
Dempsey, O'Sullivan, those guys are gonna have to be paid.
Well, I mean, Geelong, they got away with the whole Colin Jasny sitch, and rightly so. The Sydney allegations have taken the front spot in the media, but like no one's talking about this Geelong waiver that it would have been like one of the biggest stories of the year had this Sydney thing not happened. So. I don't get it. Like, why is it something to do with the CEO their ex-CEO was at Geelong?
Oh, no, he's from Geelong.
Who is it?
Butters.
No. I'm talking about was it the commission?
The AFL commissioner is from Geelong.
He was at Geelong when Colin Jasny signed this waiver. What's his name?
Craig Drummond.
Yeah. Like, what's going on?
Steve Hocking used to be in the AFL headquarters and now he's at Geelong. But, yeah, you can see why the average fan is, like, pretty... Like, the average fan despises Geelong because it just seems like they get away with stuff that other clubs don't. Like, deliberately doctoring a contract and not telling the AFL Players Association or apparently the players' manager should have major punishments, not just a slap on the wrist.
The All-Australian squad was released today. Now, everyone always has a big reaction, and I think we will have a reaction to it because there's always players that get snubbed. But how is Harry not in the squad?
It's okay.
Yeah. Look, we brought him into the studio, and, he's looking all
how's his cheekbone?
Here. Cheekbone's looking good. No black eye. Which is actually looking pretty good at IRL as well after the surgery. But how is he not in the All-Australian squad? You can't tell me that he hasn't had a better year than Murphy Reid and Josh Stakos. It's ridiculous.
And Oliver and Sarong, I would say.
Sarong's in there?
Yep.
James Sicily.
Different
Bodie
position.
Yuland.
Yeah, that one was bizarre.
Now, I guess they're defenders as well, but I'm sorry, like...
Even Max Holmes. I'd say Harry's had a better season than Max Holmes.
Missed like 6 games.
And
it's a lot of games to miss.
Maybe they're looking at the coaches' votes, but then they don't give Harry coaches' votes for some reason. I'm not sure why. LDU gets in over him. Harry had a better season than LDU.
Yeah.
And I think LDU would admit that as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just ridiculous. He gets overlooked. I mean, since he's won the Rising Star Award, he's just been overlooked for the All-Australian since. Like, he's in his 4th year, and you could say, like, looking back, it's been one of the better first 4 years of a career you've ever seen. But he hasn't got an All-Australian selection. And a lot of players have got All-Australians in their first 3 years.
And the squad has been increased to 46. And if you add the 3 Sydney players who were eligible and now ineligible, it's basically Harry hasn't made the top 49 players this season. Yeah. So, yeah, it's an absolute disgrace. I think his performance has improved dramatically this year. Not looking at the numbers, but just the way he tackles, his impact with the ball in the forward line, score involvements.
He was 14th in the comp.
Very
score involvements.
Underrated toughness as well. I just think they're not watching North. Like, those... I've probably, like, in the All-Australian squad, except for the Hawthorn players, watched, like, Harry and Cozzy the most out of anyone. And I just think the people aren't seeing what we're seeing. Like, they're just looking at numbers. Even, I know Horn Francis, he's had a great year, but I don't know if he's had a better season than Harry.
Yeah. Even Max Hall, I gave a shout-out to. And I'm being serious. Like, he's, I think, second in score involvements, Max Hall. When Naz hasn't been there, he's been the main man. He's had a very underrated season. He has beaten up on Richmond twice, so I think he's had 2 like massive games against Richmond and also against Essendon. So maybe they looked at that, like he beefed up his numbers. But when you look at the stats, I think he should be in there. I think Murphy Reid's a gun, and I think he's going to be an absolute star of the competition. But I think we're just overrating him because of the hype. Like he had a really good season, but just forget his age, forget the hype. Just take his season in isolation and put it up against some other players. Let's not be silly. Like I think Maxwell had a better year, and Harry obviously had a better season than him. So maybe it's position based, but you just get him in for the squad. You get him in, and then for the team, you do what you want. Now, in honor of this, we're going to redraft the 2022 draft. Redrafting 2022 draft. Now, not a lot of people do this with this draft because it's not that deep of a draft, to be honest. I mean, after the first couple, there's not a lot to it as there is in the 2021 draft, as there is in the 2023 draft. But this one, there's not much to it. So, Dean, have you compiled a top 10?
I haven't. Have you?
Yeah, I've compiled a top 10. So you let me know how I go after I do this. All right, we'll start from 10. We've got Josh Weddle at 10. Cam McKenzie at 9. 8, I've got Bailey Humphrey. 7, Jasper Fletcher. 6, Ruben Jimby. 5, Michael Lenny. 4, I've got George Wardlaw. And this isn't like on output. This is just if I could redraft it, I'm still taking Wardlaw at 4, just on what he could be. 3, Aaron Cadman. 2, Harry Sheasel. And 1, Will Ashcroft. Would you make any changes?
Yes, I would. I think I'm going to say what Dean was thinking. I think Mackenzie's should be higher. I'd almost swap him with Michaelini. I don't really know what
Michaelini at pick 5.
Yeah.
I think he's dropped off this year.
Yeah, I agree.
You reckon?
I don't really think he's done much.
I think he's had a very consistent career so far.
He has, but I think like in a draft you sort of pick off potential a little bit as well.
Yeah.
I think Cam McKenzie could be.
To be fair, I did this very quickly. Like I didn't put too much thought into it. It was kind of just instinctive. And I just think Michael Lenny has had a very consistent year. I think he's played the most games out of anyone in this list. Every week he gets picked. He plays a pretty important role. But you're right. You know what? I probably could put him back a few just on potential.
Yeah, and I think Gooch Juice as well. Old man Jimby.
Jimby.
He was going to be all Australian if he played the whole year.
Pick 6 is still very high. I mean, there's still some players that have missed out in
Darcy
this list.
Jones, Philippou.
No, not even.
No, I'm just naming some of the guys.
Ed Allen.
Yeah.
I saw Joe
Grushevsky, he's showing a bit.
He's been good. Cowan's solid.
Would you change anything about that? The top 4? Those were the original top 4. Change the order, but
I agree with that.
I've kept the original top 4.
I think it is a bit of a clear top 4.
Yeah, I agree with
Would
that.
you
I
both
think
have Ashcroft at 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
on the norms.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. The Weddle discourse is interesting because he's had a disappointing 4th season, but based on potential, he still has it all. So we'll see where he goes. But
yeah,
I don't know. You'd want him a bit higher than 10, I think.
Yeah, look, 10's high.
10's pretty good.
The top 10 is pretty good.
I think like if you're going potential as well, Humphrey could be right up there.
Yeah. I'm not sold on him yet. I'm just not sure what he is.
Yeah.
Like same with Weddle. Like he's got the athleticism, he's got the physicality, but what is he? You know, if Humphrey ends up being a midfielder, well, I haven't seen enough of him playing midfield. If Weddle ends up being a midfielder or a half-back or a forward, I haven't seen enough of him play in a certain position to be like, okay, I know I'm confident. Whereas like Michael Annie, I know he's going to be a good player where he plays, and I think he's going to continue to get better. Same with Jimby off the back of this season and Fletcher as well. So that's why I just have them a bit higher.
And just one to note, I think Jai Clark's flown under the radar this year. We'll see. It'll be interesting if Geelong get all those acquisitions where he lands in their team, but I think he's shown that he's an AFL player and just one of those guys that you get a bit more games into him and you can really see the fruits of that draft pick. I know Hawthorn had pick 7 and I was really keen on him and Mackenzie, but they kept likening him to Joel Selwood and you could see all the attributes, and I think I've seen it a bit this season, but no one's talked about him yet. I wouldn't have him in the 10, but just want to mention.
Yeah, it's not a very deep draft. Like, you could argue only Ashcroft and Sheasel get into a 2019 redraft, and they wouldn't be in the top 5. I don't think. Maybe.
Well, that's 3 years.
Yeah. It's
true.
been, 4 years? Yeah.
True.
Corey Wagner's been
That's
handy. No.
yeah. Corey
Never mind,
Wagner.
I'm thinking of
Yeah.
Carl Warner. I always get
Yeah.
them confused.
Corey Wagner got drafted, and that was his 3rd club. So he played at North Melbourne and Melbourne before that. He got drafted as like a 26-year-old. So there it is. It's not a great draft, but we've gone through all the other drafts, and we thought we'd give this some love. From the fans, we just had Stiglitz also lost in his grand final.
Yeah, unfortunately, lost by 60 odd. His Thursday night, he started with Hall, Hill, Rowell, and Noble.
Jeez.
Wow.
So he had one of them captain, so he was on 660 from 4 players and
Whoa.
somehow lost.
Well,
Go
did he have someone
figure.
choke?
I don't think he really choked. I think the other guy had an 100 from Hugh Boxall and a Zach Reed 90 something.
How are those guys getting in your team?
Yeah, I don't know. Premiership player Hugh Boxall.
108 Hugh Boxall.
That's right.
That's pretty crazy.
Looked all right. Went pound for pound
Yeah,
with
dude.
Rowell, and
He's a powerful man.
yeah,
Yeah.
something for the Saints fans to take out of that game. That was so dead Thursday night. Jeez,
Yeah, it was.
that was so boring.
So just a word on the bottom 8.
What did he say, Stiglitz?
Stiglitz, you just want get it up, but he was saying how you both lost in your fantasy grand finals.
Oh,
You both choked. What did he say? He said, fantasy disappointment at its greatest right now with me and Dean. So there you go. And
Yeah.
Aiden Carpenter said the AA squad is picked purely off best teams, not best players.
Yeah. There's
There's
an
an argument.
element of that. Like Fremantle, I straight away I saw Jordan Clark and Caleb Sarong. Great players, but I don't think they're all Australian this year.
I also think there could be less from the top teams, because when you're in a top team, you usually have a less significant role. Like Jordan Clark and Sarong on a team like North Melbourne would be superstars, but because there's so many other great players around them, their overall performance has probably dropped off. So they shouldn't be all Australian, even though they could be, if that makes sense. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. It
Like-
also works differently for different players. Like for a Murphy Reed, you put him on North Melbourne. I don't know if he'd have the same impact. That half forward role probably wouldn't have the same impact. Like who was it that got all Australian as a small forward? It was Tom Papley, like back in the day when he was getting all Australians and some of the other small forwards. I think that's really impressive, because being usually those small forwards, half forwards, are for the top 4 teams, it's hard to play well when you're at a bottom team. But yeah, you're right. Like Caleb Sarong, he's the most overrated player when it comes to all Australian. I mean, he has 3 already, and I think they've all been on the bench. They just slot him in there just cause.
I like Sarong though, but yeah.
But
No,
why,
he's a good player, but I just don't think he's.
why does he always get in ahead of Brayshaw? Like, what actually makes him a better player?
I
He
think
probably
see
does
that
more
move.
with the ball, but Brayshaw would do more without the ball.
Exactly. I think they're very even.
I think Sarong's better than Brayshaw. I think Sarong is quite damaging. Hits the scoreboard a lot as well.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Food for thought, I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Food for thought. So just a word on the bottom 8 teams. Essendon, new coach. Good luck to them. Richmond, what do you make of their season?
disappointing, but I'm not as worried as you are.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, you are quite worried. aren't
West
you?
Coast?
Should do like one word for each team or something.
Yeah, I'd probably need more than one, but
West Coast won 4 wins after round 12.
Yeah,
they lost
true.
the last
Yeah.
10 games.
Yeah,
Coast.
so they'd be slightly disappointed with
Jinby
that.
was a big loss. You
They
mentioned
definitely
earlier.
they became slightly more competitive. That's what they wanted. I think it was.
I'm just going to say not enough from West Coast. I think they should
I
have.
think
given more.
Dersma showed enough, but clearly didn't have the endurance for his first AFL season. They probably should have given him a rest in the back half, but his first half of the season,
Your man.
yeah, I was on record saying he should get the rising star over both
Yeah.
of them, but
I think Harley Reid is a big loss in the first 2 rounds last year. So he's been suspended for the first 2 weeks. Harley Reid.
true.
Nice.
It was dangerous.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and Newcomb's a tough
And
guy.
Usually those first couple of games are winnable for like bottom teams. I mean, you saw with North Melbourne and West Coast have those winnable games at the start of the year. So not having Harley Reid for the first 2 is pretty costly. And Cozzy Pickett got suspended for the first 3 weeks last year. And who knows if he played those games, we could have won and the season could have been different.
Yeah.
So it is a big loss for West Coast. They can try Challenger, but I don't think he'll get off. Port Adelaide,
they're
just a nothing season from Port Adelaide.
I think they're in a bit of trouble in the next few years.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it.
Bit worried about Rosie as well. It's not just a common injury; it's an actual nerve injury. Yeah. So hopefully he gets back to what he was.
Yeah, I'm concerned for them. I mean, Georgiades signing is pretty big for them.
Yeah.
They obviously get Dougie Cochran, who's a top 2 prospect. They'll lose Butters, and they'll get a pretty decent haul out of that if they trade well. But yeah, I just think they're just a bit of a nothing team at the moment. They're pretty irrelevant. North Melbourne, are they content with their season? 9 wins.
I think so. Content, nothing more, nothing less.
I agree.
Yeah, I think they took a tiny step forward, but I don't think they did. I think it wasn't really much of an improvement from North Melbourne, but they did the right thing in losing to Sydney.
Yes, well done, North.
They learnt their lesson, Dean. You obviously got into their ears. So if they had won that game, they would have jumped Gold Coast, and because Ben King's leaving, Gold Coast get an extra pick. So they would have gone up 2 selections to pick 7, which would have gone to pick 9 after Walker and Cochran. And then if you are in the top 5 and a bid comes through, which it will, you get an end of first round pick 2. So they essentially, if they lost, they would have got pick 7 and around pick 25. If they won, they would have just got pick 9. So well done on losing. Hopefully you can draft or recruit well. Gold Coast, probably the biggest disappointment of the season.
Probably the story of the season, the Gold Coast demise.
Yeah.
Or the Carlton rise.
Melbourne as well. Like, so many people had them bottom 4.
Yeah.
True. But I think the Carlton storyline with you guys being
mid-year,
at 1 and 9 and then...
Were you 1 and 9?
We
1
were
and 8?
1 and 8, yeah.
Oh, if only Tom Lynch could kick straight as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's worse at kicking, Tom Lynch or Jake Waterman? Because yesterday I was just like, Zach, watch, he'll miss this. And Jake Waterman, what do you know? He misses
Lynch
shot.
was really bad, though. Like,
it's clearly mental.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah, these are both guys that have won...
All Australians.
All Australians.
Yeah.
Close to Coleman's. I don't think they've won Coleman's, but been close. So
players just go through... I mean, it's a year, but they go through bad periods of kicks, actually. Larky as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Known as
Tim Membry had 1 year where he couldn't kick straight.
Yeah.
I guess they just get the yips.
No, it happens, yeah.
The Giants, Adam, obviously you mentioned that they could be in for extended stint at the bottom of the ladder. And then Saints, are they up there with Gold Coast with the biggest disappointment?
It's like you would have had them around there, though. So how can it be
That's
that
what I said. I think I would have had them 11th
I had them
into the
in
season.
the 10. I had them 9 or 10th.
So it's not that big of a drop-off.
Yeah. I mean, look, they had a lot of injuries. So Flanders, Sinclair, De Koning got injured a little bit. But Silvani got injured.
With them, they didn't beat any team above them, except for us.
Yeah.
When we were terrible.
Yeah. Next year's the year for them.
We don't need to have a whole rant on St Kilda, but I did post that reel on them, and their fans, so Kane Corn said that St Kilda fans are the most forgiving in the competition, and I can see exactly why he's done that. Like, Saints fans just jump in the comments to defend them. Like, you went from 12th to spend all that money to 11th. Well done. Like, are you guys happy with that? Seriously. Ridiculous. And then we're into the wild card. So it's D's Carlton. Adam, take us through the last few D's Carlton games.
Or
at least the memorable ones.
I think we need to start with Cozzy 2022.
Yeah, that's
so obviously I think that's when the sort of rivalry started.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much kicked us out of finals. I mean, Collingwood did it, but if we won that, we would have shored up a final spot. Cozzy kicks a goal with a minute to go, 30 seconds even? It's less.
Yeah.
Crazy game.
So Dean's got up the recent games between Carlton and Melbourne, and Dean, you don't even need to do that because I'll take you back even further. So
hold on, I want to see.
So let's start from 2019. The battle.
The COVID game.
Yeah, but we'll go to the COVID game. So before that was 2019, where both sides were pretty average. Melbourne finished second last. So Tom McDonald kicks 6 goals up until 3/4 time. Melbourne have 4 injured players on the bench. We have no one on the bench. We're up by 30 points at 3/4 time. I'm watching this in the middle of the night in Mexico. Corey Berman, fellow Carlton supporter, is in the bed next to me. and Carlton kick 5 in a row. It's a close game, and then Jaden Hunt kicks the sealer with a minute to go, gets us back in front. D's win an absolute classic in 2019.
Yeah.
Then we have the COVID game in 2020. It was round 2, our first game after the lockdown.
That was at Marvel, wasn't it?
Was at Marvel.
Probably the only ever Carlton Melbourne game at Marvel.
Now I believe the score was 40-2.
Yeah.
At some point, and then it got close as it did in 2019. Carlton came back, and then Bailey Fritsch, I think, kicks a point to win the game for us.
Yeah, it was a disgusting
Something like that.
game.
It was horrible, horrible quality.
Classic COVID 50-all game.
Yeah, and then you mentioned the Cozzy game, and that was Cook. I think I was on level 2, and you could feel the whole ground shaking.
Yeah.
It was Cook. As you could in some of the other games, because after that, it was all Carlton. And Melbourne got you on a Friday night in 23 when you were, before you made the run.
We went to that together, Chase, I think. Which one?
We went to the next one. So we went to the Liar on the Line game.
The Marchbank touch.
The Marchbank, yeah.
Is that the Acres Hand of God?
No, that was against Sydney.
So that started our winning streak against you, because before that you had won 8 in a row.
Yeah.
So then we got that, and then the final the same year.
Yeah.
So that was pretty heartbreaking for you, obviously.
Yeah, probably my least favourite moment as a Melbourne supporter, I think, was that game. I was pretty depressed, and I've spoken about it quite a bit on the podcast, but I don't know how we lost that game. And we had I checked the other day the timeline, and I think Jesse Motlop kicks a goal to get Carlton back within a few points, and then
Forgot about that guy.
And then it's Melbourne point, Melbourne point, Melbourne point, Melbourne
Yeah,
point.
you missed a lot.
Blake Acres goal.
Yeah. And you guys, you were better than us that game as well. That year, you were just a better team than us, even though we went on that streak. You were a top 4 team, weren't you?
We were, and then we lost Brayshaw. Well, we lost Melksham, Petty, and Brayshaw going into it. And then Van Rooyen as well didn't play that game. He was suspended, as he is again.
Yeah, it's a bit sad, but it was the best game I've ever been to as a Carlton fan. It's a semi-final, but Dean, as a neutral, that would have been one of the craziest games to watch.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And then you got us again. The next year, that was the Petrarca game. So you guys kicked the first 6 goals of the game, 36-0, I believe it was. Yep. Then Petrarca kicks 5 goals, gets us pretty close, but Carlton hold on by a point. Then last year, I think it was, we were both away. We watched this together with Jared.
Yeah, but a bit of a nothing game.
Yeah.
In terms of the ladder.
Yeah, both teams, nothing. But Melbourne didn't really show up. I think this was Ashton Moyer's breakout game. But I tipped him for a breakout season. Where's he been this year?
Just in the reserves. Yeah. Too many other players that have come through.
Yeah. And then this year was one of the more bizarre results. You guys got off to the start again.
Yeah. And
then I think you got out to a 20-point lead 5 minutes into the last quarter.
So I think it was actually 6-0. So the turn was, 40-100 or something like that. Yeah. So you smashed us.
Yeah. But you guys got up by 20 points into the last quarter, and then we ended up winning by 23.
Yeah. It was so inevitable, those comebacks every week.
So with that history, it's definitely a game you can't miss on Saturday night. And I'm nervous. I am nervous. I'm not confident, but I want this. I'm actually happy that we get a chance to play Carlton in a big game at 90,000. I think if we win, it'll mean a lot to me. And if not, at least we're back in finals and we get pick 10, to be fair. So it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Doggies, Collingwood.
Shall we tip for
We
that
can
game?
tip.
Even though I'm the only neutral, I assume you guys tipping with your heart.
I don't know why, but I'm slightly more confident against Melbourne than Collingwood, just because of the way that we play against Collingwood. We just shit ourselves every time. I'm going to tip us, obviously. Kind of have to tip your own team in a big game, but like I said before, it is a 50-50, despite what the odds are saying in our form.
Yeah, I'm going to tip the D's. Not confident, but the one thing about Melbourne is this season is you can't write them off. We'll have a loss, and then the next week we'll somehow just pull something out of us. We lost to Essendon and then beat Brisbane. And that's kind of the story of our season.
And you're 15 wins for a reason. Like, that's a huge amount of wins to make the wild card. So,
I hope it rains. That will help us, to be honest, because we really don't have many key forwards or key defenders, and looks like it could be a little bit of rain. Not too sure. We'll see how we go. That's not going to
help us, I think.
But we'll see how it works.
I'm going to go Melbourne. I just think when the pressure's on Carlton, they will capitulate. And the Ds have been very good at the MCG this year.
There's been a few pressure games, Dean, I would say, like the last few weeks.
There hasn't been finals.
Well, the Bulldogs game was pretty much an elimination final.
Yeah, I don't rate the Bulldogs.
Okay.
Collingwood Dogs don't have much to say about the preview.
You're going to tip them now, aren't you?
What do you? I don't know if Norton's going to play, and I don't know if the Dogs have a key forward.
Yeah, Croft.
Yeah,
I don't know, like in terms of a key forward.
English might be back.
Is Norton definitely out?
I don't know, but he was out for the.
Got to be careful with English if he's rushing back from a knee.
He's had a bad year as well.
Yeah, had a bad year. Probably playing injured. Just got to worry about that type of frame as well.
I like what Lob's done for them.
Yeah.
He can play anywhere for them and do a job.
Yep. I think Collingwood, I reckon.
Pendlebury injured. This is another.
Now,
I want to mention it. It's another big game which Pendlebury's missing. He got injured in the warm-up of their final last year.
Prelim. But he played. He played and wasted a spot.
Yeah, exactly. And now he's missing another wildcard / final. I just think they have to consider this about next year. I know they're like giving him the chance to sign on and whatnot, but...
You're saying this could be it? He won't play again?
I'm just worried. I think we think he's managed himself so well, but to get injured in the back half of the year, 2 years in a row, when you're 39, I'm just worried. I'm not sure if he'll play on next year.
He almost has to, because you can't not send him off. Like, he needs to have a farewell game.
I know, but it's a shame. I can't believe they played him last week. I think there was something behind the scenes. You know how apparently Greg Swan sent a memo around saying don't rest players. But the whole week, last week, everyone was talking about on 360, Beveridge is saying we'll have to talk to Bont about not playing. And there were reports Collingwood is going to rest 6 players. No one got rested. I think something went on behind the scenes there. Maybe a threat. You know, Andrew Dillon style to Bailey Smith when he told him you're not playing this week after the Instagram comment. I just think something went on behind the scenes and they said, you better make sure no one's arrested, because surely Collingwood would have arrested them last week.
Well, Dacos and Cameron didn't really play the last quarter.
I know, but I don't know.
They got smashed.
I was a bit suspicious of it.
But what team has ever rested players when they're losing? So
Anyway. Freo did it as well.
Tips for this game, and then we'll quickly do a bit of some awards for tomorrow night. I'm going to tip Collingwood. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Dogs struggle against
Degoe's in good form. I like him in good form.
I'll go the Bulldogs.
Okay.
I think the last 2 weeks they've played really well. Like, their pressure game's been elite. If they can bring that, they've got a lot of outs, but I think they could upset. It would be a bit of an upset.
Yeah, tipping's getting close, so I've really got to take care with my tips, because I've moved down to 7th in the competition.
Wow, you're up there.
Yeah, I'm up there, having a decent year. If we look at the round 24, everyone got 9. No one's got 9, but Shosty.
Oh, jeez.
Shosty got 8.
Post-Dos and Toss effect.
There it is. Maya K with 8, and Ethan, I assume that's Ethan Carrick with 8. So well done to those 3. And how's the leaderboard shaping up? So we've got James is leading with Daniel Harmon close by. They're both on 154. Dos wants the tips on 153 at 3rd. Then we get to Jake F on 152. And then a quartet of tipsters on 151, including myself. So I'm a chance to get to the top 3.
You don't want to win your own comp.
I don't want to win my comp, but I want to just get as high as I can. It would be nice.
I've got an interesting stat for you guys.
There you go.
I've had a terrible tipping year, but I've actually got the best margin in the comp.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. I'm 34th with a 565 margin. Only
How do you check that?
It's in the brackets, your margin.
Yeah, but how do you know that it's the best?
I've just had a little look through.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, yeah, likely the people down the bottom.
There you go. Well,
jeez.
that's pretty good for you.
So I'm a good Thursday night tipper. and then
True.
then it capitulates. I did tip Gold Coast, so that probably helped.
Rising Star. Is it Jagger Smith?
Yeah, so tomorrow night, the awards, not the Brownlow, but all the other ones. Rising Star.
Is Harry Dean a chance at it? Yeah. Why are you upset?
Because he was a big Dersma guy.
No. Jagger all the way.
Come on, he's your boy.
I know, you
Did
got
you
to...
tip Jagger at the start of the year?
I did.
Who did I tip, do you know?
No, let's do that in another pod, though.
Okay, yeah.
Because we made some other calls.
Just want to shout out Harry Dean, though. Like, key defender, first year, not scared of anyone, like giving it to Paddy Voss on the weekend. He's been unbelievable, but it's a midfielder's award, and Jagger...
Not necessarily.
I think it is.
Luke Jackson, Jesse Hogan.
Oh, don't start on Hogan.
Hogan v Cripps, that was a good battle.
Hogan definitely deserved it.
I agree. Who's got... Yeah, so we're all Jagger.
Yes.
Most courageous?
Yeah, I agree with Jagger.
Can Zach Butters win it again?
Nah, he won't win it this year.
Most courageous.
So we haven't found
How do
the
you
candidates, but
Yeah.
I believe the players all vote, and then the top three from each club are in the pool for the awards of most courageous.
I can't...
I'd almost put Bontempelli in there. He's played this whole season injured and been the second best player in the competition this year. So I think Bontempelli could be... I don't know what the criteria is for most courageous, but he's led the team and he's been injured the whole season.
Of similar vein, I'm going to go like Matt Rao. I think his second half of the season especially, he's kind of put the Suns on his back. And the way he attacks the footy is like none other. It's, that George Wardlaw where he's trying 100% way harder than everyone else out there. And I think he's an incredibly courageous player, ground ball gets, and he's an absolute animal. He looks scruffy. He's got the unkempt look going on at the moment. The low socks are a bit unusual, but yeah.
With the black boots as well.
Any nominees?
Jordan Dawson. Obviously.
Bless you.
Bless you, Dean.
Yeah.
And also just the way he plays. Like, he lifts Adelaide. I think I've been on the podcast when Dean's spoken about this, but like he is... Yeah, he's their barometer, and he's a brilliant captain, courageous player. Tough year for him, but he's been unbelievable. So
Yeah, I like that.
Best captain is also another award. Would you have Dawson as the best captain?
I think he's up there. It's hard to look past Bont though. It's tough.
I'm a Gorn lover. Gorn for me.
I think it's
Gorn
Gorn
as well.
I think it's Gorn, and I think Gorn should be the All-Australian captain. Now, I know they do some weird thing every year, like Jeremy Cameron got it, Tom Hawkins got it, and it's not really a leadership award, it's more of a celebration. I think Gorn, being the best captain and also winning his 9th All-Australian and breaking the record, should be recognised. So I think he should be the All-Australian captain, and I'd give Jordan Dawson the vice captaincy as well. He's had an unbelievable season given the adversity he's gone through. Those are probably my two. Any other big awards? You got the best young player,
The Sean Manor
the
Award.
Sean Manor Award. So it's essentially the most coaches' votes in your first 2 seasons
Combined.
Yeah, that's how it works. I think it's going to be Murphy Reid.
Probably.
Is Jagger Smith a chance to win that in 1 season?
He got a lot of coaches' votes, I think. I think it was the most for a first-year player.
Really?
But
Ever?
I don't think he can do that in 1 year.
Well, let's check, and we can actually see sort of who's close. If I go to the 2024 draft, so Murphy Reid is on 66 coaches' votes, and Jagger Smith is on 52. And they didn't include the last 3 rounds. So there's a chance that Jagger could have caught him 14 votes down, because I don't think Murphy Reid would have polled at all. So
that would be crazy.
He was injured.
Yeah, he's injured, but he played one of them.
He gets 70 coaches' votes in his first year.
That's cooked.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cooked. That is incredible. Any other awards are missing? I guess the other ones are Brownlow night. We can wait for those ones for that week.
Do we need to predict that?
The Brownlow?
Yeah.
No, but there are other awards. They've got the Jim Steins Award. We've got to predict the Community Award. No, I think that's it.
Mark of the Year, which we saw yesterday.
Yeah, it was a great mark by
You
the
reckon
Wizard.
it's mark of the year?
No, I don't think. Recency bias always comes in.
Yeah.
It was very good.
In the wet, though. Like,
Oh,
come on.
yeah. On Liam Baker.
I loved the little
Is that
smile
good
after.
though?
Yeah.
He's short, so it's.
I don't know. Just he's someone you'd want to take a mark over.
Is it not harder on a shorter person? Because like you actually can't go up any higher once
Maybe.
you get on
Yeah.
the shoulders. Like
Maybe.
it doesn't look as good.
I think the Cosy one against Richmond was very good. I think the Langford one against Freo was pretty good. I know that's bias, Steve's bias, but they were pretty good. I don't know. There's been some good marks this year. Like we had a few years where we weren't getting great marks or great goals, but I reckon we're back.
And the McKenna goal this week.
Yeah,
Like
that
imagine
was
it's
cool.
both round 24, the awards. That would be
That'd
crazy.
be pretty good. That'd be pretty crazy. Well, we'll wait and see for that one when Brownlow Night comes on. But Adam, thank you very much for coming on the podcast. It's always a pleasure having you on.
Thank
Good
you.
luck for this week, but not too much luck because I really don't want to go through what we went through in 2023.
Yep. I hope we do.
Peace.